in understanding, learning, it's imperative that repetition is a major part of it. Not just to get it, but to keep getting it, meaning continuing to expand on your understanding of, in this case, how and why price moves, and to be able to create a predictive skill in calling what's next. And so the repetition of, you get a spike in here, when to be cautious, staying long, getting long, when to maybe open a short if that's what you think as your step one. You have a bearish bias and you're looking for location and a trigger to get you to open up a short position. And what we had here was, it was actually at 8:45, 8:44 Central. Right in here, there was a moment where a couple things. This green box was a buy pulse that came out, and it wasn't just rejected, meaning price didn't go up, actually went down, and yet it was a buy pulse, but it got rejected quick. Then another one of 182 came in, got rejected a little slower. But then if you look over here, longs were piling in, and this one was a pretty big one of 100 contracts. So if you're below where there's a big long and other longs, that's bearish. When you have a rejected buy order, a buy market order in this case, that's bearish. And so it's like the timing of when to get short if you're bearish, when to get out of a long if you're long, has to be, you have to have tools that create the objectivity so you're not thinking. And I coach baseball and I tell my pitchers, the time to think is over with. That's maybe in warmups or practice. You're just pitching now. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. And I don't like parents yelling out, do this, do that. Because number one, they're not listening to you. And if they are, you're confusing the hell out of them. All right. Just throw the ball and we work on things at practice or in between, whatever. So you have to react to the training you have. You have to have that default. And so it's not even you anymore. It's your training that's taking over. And when you have two things that are present in this business, two things, the opportunity to be right and wrong, and the opportunity to make or lose money, two of the more powerful things at the top of the list that create emotion. If you were to list all the things that create emotion, those things would be at the top, right? Right or wrong, make or lose money. And yet you got both of them conflated together when you open and close positions, when you think of opening and closing positions. So if you're not objective, your mind certainly isn't going to run you to it. Thinking isn't, if you have to wait and think, you're probably too late or you shouldn't do it. You missed it, potentially, even if you didn't miss it. And so if we take it back a couple beats here, if you watch, and I'll play it, when the green box comes in, I want you to watch Price's reaction and how it didn't just not go up, it actually goes down, and yet it's a buy order. All right. So he buys it, he lifts the offer, trades the tick above it, and then wham, it's below it and stays below it. So it not only was a big buy order and got rejected, but also got rejected quick. And then our number here in the add pull shows a big negative of minus 600. All right. Which shows offers are pouring in. Long is come in. So the objectivity that that's the next move, I went kind of fast there, that's the next move doesn't make you sit and say, "Ooh, that was a good guess," or "I got lucky." Because if you're saying those things when you trade, you're not going to stay lucky for long, and the guesses aren't going to remain good. It can't feel like a good guess. You can't feel like you got let off the hook when a loser turns to a winner, or when you had the winner, because the market's not going to allow you to get away with bad behavior or poor mistakes or emotional trading. And most people trade emotionally, and it's usually because they never figured out what tools are needed to create an advantage. All right. And then they never understand how it's very powerful to be right or wrong. It's very powerful to make or lose money with respect to allowing emotions to surface and boil over. And now you start letting your mind walk you on a leash instead of you controlling your mind, your thoughts, and allowing your tools to make the decisions for you. You do the thinking in between sessions. You do the thinking on your review. You do the thinking in highlights such as this so you can miss less. You're always going to miss. We're always trying to miss less and less and less. So it becomes ready, aim, fire, and you didn't even know you did it.